Okay, no, we're not doing that. So this is going to be a very highly disjointed and useless video. I have a few things I want to do here, and the production quality is going to be incredibly jank. This is mostly a Beanie video. I'm going to be going over a couple other things, though. And I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's just go ahead and get started. So you'll notice that my camera quality is complete garbage. I'm aware of this. I still have yet to figure out a better camera setup. I probably just need to get a new one. I love this glare, by the way. That's real good. But as you may be aware, I have fuck it, I'm just putting this back by the dinosaurs again. I've moved into a new apartment. It is currently February 10th. We moved here officially on like December 30th, so we've been here a while. And despite being here for like 2 months now, I have still yet to like actually unpack any of my shit, or more accurately, like put any of it away. And beanies are the number one cause for that, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So the reason I'm doing this is because my first and second beanie vlogs were done in February of 2017 and 18, respectively. And then I just kind of didn't do one last year, and I'll be explaining why once I get out of webcam mode here. But first, let's go ahead and take a little tour around my room. First thing you'll notice is my weird-ass setup here. It's hard to tell because of the glare. Let me actually... hold on. Freaking move this down here. You can't even see what my desktop background is. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's a TV, and then that's my computer. I have it set up this way so that, could this be a little bit more blurry? Good fucking God. Hey, you want to maybe focus? Focus on the hoodoo. It's important. So yeah, so like I have the option of when I'm in bed, I can kind of look out at the TV and use it that way, or if I want to be at the desk and use the computer, then I can do it that way. It works either way. I can stare into the glowing white rectangle of death here, apparently. So that's how that's set up. Got my computer here, got a giant pile of wires. Got a lamp that is not normally in this room, but I moved in here because I thought it would be useful for lighting this video. Apparently fucking not, because the moment I do that, we just kind of move to the surface of the sun, so we're not going to do that. And then we have this. This is my collection of various games and books that I have yet to put away. And I have places to put them, such as this bookshelf over here, which has shelves that I have not actually put on the bookshelf because I'm too fucking lazy to do it. So currently, this is just kind of where I put my wallet and keys and various other items, including the game that I'm going to be doing for Patreon soon. By the way, that's a thing. I've got that bookshelf, and I've got 2 more bookshelves over here, which just kind of currently contain a pair of duck baskets, a Pizza Hut hat that is not mine, and assorted other items. And then we're not going to pay attention to the pile of dirty clothes. We don't need to worry about that. The random table of birds and handhelds, though, that one's slightly of more interest. So anyway, like I said, I've been here a couple months, still have not put any of that away. The reason for that is because, if you may remember, in my first Beanie vlog, this was before I started collecting, I had like maybe 20 or so, and half of them didn't have tags. And then by the second one, it's like I said that like I had just started kind of getting into collecting. I was going to go for a full set of Gen 4s. I think I maybe had like 40 or so. The amount that I have now is about 10 times that. We're going to be kind of looking at these in a minute. Yeah, actually, let me go ahead and move the microphone here, so probably going to be a brief cut. Okay, so here's my closet. It's a big open closet. I've got plenty of room here. That was a piece of wood falling down. In case you need proof, there it is. Also, there's a hoodoo, and the hoodoo is standing on a calendar of other hoodoos that I really need to get around to hanging up, but I keep forgetting to ask if we have tax. So whatever. Anyway, moving on. So yeah. Remember the giant pile of clothes? I need to wash a lot of them because I'm too lazy to frickin' do it, and I just kind of need to get around to that at some point. But, yeah, I could put my clothes in here if I didn't have all of this shit in here. And the reason I have all of this shit in here is because I'm not sure what to do with it. Because I don't want it to just constantly be sitting in boxes like this. I'm thinking of getting, like, a series of wall-mounted shelves to just kind of, like, put around and then have them on those, and then I can get like a fucking dust buster or like a leaf blower or something to just keep them like free of dust. I don't know. We'll figure that out at some point. But yeah, so let me explain the mess that is this room. This is my Nintendo shit cube. No. So when we moved into this place, I don't know what to focus the camera on here. Just look at a stunfisk. When we moved into this place in mid-December, it was a process that took a long time getting everything moved over. And so the first thing that we're doing is just like, let's move over the stuff that we already have packed up, and then we can like kind of go from there. And so I had all of my beanies already in boxes. So the first thing I did was I brought these things over. And I had 1, 2, and 3 boxes of beanies that were just in the cardboard boxes like these. And I brought them here, and I'm like, let me just sit these out on the shelves, and then I can bring the boxes back home, and we can use those to pack more stuff. So I did that, but then I never took them off the shelves, so they've still been sitting here for forever. This heap in the corner, I'll explain in a minute. But, so that explains those. I've got just a bunch of random stuff in here, including, this is my Xbox One. But, here's just, 50 cent or $5, 50 Pokemon cards, some stockings, a laptop that doesn't work, various cables. Like, I don't know what the fuck most of this stuff even is, but I don't know. I've not put any of it away because I've just been lazy and I need to get a better setup, basically. And so, because I have so many beanies to go through now, the problem is I've been kind of hyping up. Maybe that's not the right word, but I've been kind of like wanting to do this this third beanie vlog for so long. I've kind of like built up in my mind how it's gonna go. And the problem is I have too many ideas for what I want to do with it. Oh, by the way, I love this thing. Here's just kind of the painting of the underside of a hoodoo. It's pretty good. I enjoy this. Let's just focus on that. We'll just have that there for a while. So I have a lot of ideas. I could probably make like at least 5 videos. I have plans, which I'll probably talk about when I get out of the webcam portion of this video. I never start on any of them because every time I think I want to work on one of them, part of me is always like, my audience doesn't care about beanie stuff, so I should probably do something else. And then I don't do the something else, so I end up just not doing anything. So I'm going to say screw it. I'm just going to make what I want. So this is going to be just kind of a generic, like, going over a few random things that aren't really part of any kind of greater whole. And then I'll possibly discuss what other stuff I want to do. But, yeah, essentially, if I was to go through this, just to give you a sense of what we're working with here, the 3 shelves that I've shown and described, they're split up in a specific way. As I said before, I was doing a Gen 4 beanie collection. I now have Gen 4 and 5, and I have all of them. So up here is like the ones that retired prior to January 1st, 1998. Then here's the ones that like existed as of June 1996 or earlier, but did not retire at the end of 98. And then this heap over here, which used to take up the whole shelf, and can we get a little more blurry? Thank you. This is like the ones introduced as of January 97 or later. They're just kind of split up that way because that's how I roll. And then I have this group, which these are Gen 5s introduced in May 1998 specifically. And I laid these out because I made a stupid post about them on Facebook yesterday where I was like, hey, I want to know as much as I can about this subject. So if anybody has any of these 15, can you look at them and like see if the inside of the tush tag, here I'm trying to show you, like can you check if the inside of the tush tag has a red stamp? Because I'm trying to find out if there's any versions of them that don't. And I posted this and people are like, what the fuck? No, I don't know, like people didn't get what I was talking about, but I got a couple of responses. I have now indeed found an Ants, a Canadian Ants specifically that does not have the stamp, and a Glory that was given out at some kind of sporting event that does not have the stamp. And I have heard of other ones, but not seen visual proof of them yet. This is totally interesting, I know. But yeah, so that's why those are there. Then if we pan down a bit, we have this, sorry, I hope I'm audible throughout all this. I think I will be. We have my collection of various periodicals that I still need to go through on camera. A few of these I've like specifically not looked at because I wanted to do them blind, and I got those things like freaking 2 years ago. We're going to ignore the Mario Dance Dance Revolution mat. This is just a bag of like essentially duplicates. Don't worry about these. Then we have like my box of rare stuff, and rare is kind of in quotes on some of these, but some of them are pretty rare. And I can be like, I'm like, so yeah, this is my chili bear here. Yeah, he's kind of dirty. The dog shoved him up his ass.
This one, I don't think. Oh, that's not mine. Get that the fuck out of here.
But it's like we got that one. We got some other ones in here that are worth a decent amount. I've got some Gen 3s, that kind of stuff. Like my fine main mystic. It's here. Let's see if we can discover all the different mystics real quick. So here's this is the original version. The mane and tail are made of a very fine thread. This one has a Gen 2 tush tag. Note that it does not have a name on it. Then the second version is up here. Same color horn, but this one, the mane and tail are made of a thicker yarn. This is the coarse mane mystic. Then over here in this heap, presumably, well, Nuts just died apparently. Yeah, here is the third version. This has the iridescent horn. And then somewhere in this pile, which I don't really want to dig through right now to find, but I could if I... Oh, wait, is it here? No, that's shit. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, whatever, I don't really feel like looking. Continues to look anyway. Yeah, the fourth version's in here. Yeah, this is just kind of my Gen 5 box. There's about 100 of these, and despite what it may look like from this particular pile here, they are surprisingly not all Millennium, nor are they all Iggy or Rainbow. There's only like 6 of those. Trust me, there's a reason why. Oh, here's Mystic 4. Mystic 4 has Rainbow mane and tail. Exciting. This camera work is shit. But anyway, so yeah, that's my Gen 5 box. This is my Beanie Buddies box. I just kind of pick these up when I find them. I've got like 15 of those. Then over here is my box of assorted other garbage, including B. Larry King. No, this is Jerry Stinger. I have 4 of the meanies that I think some people might remember from my first vlog going through the the Beanie World magazines. There's Jerry Stinger, Snake Eyes Jake, Sonny the Preemie Chickie, and Donnie Didn't Duck. They're not actually Beanie Babies, but I have them anyway. I also have a Hadoo, because of course I do. And then I've got the Zodiac set in here. They're kind of cool. I like the dragon one at least. That's probably my favorite. A bunch of duplicates that I don't need. And my bootleg grunt. I like my bootleg grunt. This thing's pretty great. It's, hold on, let me find the actual grunt. Let me set you down on the Hadoo painting. Where is actual grunt? Here he is. So here's actual grunt. Note that it is, in fact, a thing that exists, and it has tie tags on it. Who could have possibly guessed? It's Gen 4. Here is the bootleg grunt. It is the same design exactly, except the tusks are like sewn to the face instead of being movable, and it's decidedly a crappier quality. And it just kind of has this weird souvenir tag. I found out eventually that this came from a random souvenir shop in Arkansas. And when I say I found out eventually, I mean it literally says that on the tag, but I Googled it also. And I guess there's a sports team for like the Little Rock Razorbacks or something. So they just straight up copied this thing, and it somehow ended up in a thrift store in Garland, Texas. So I'm like, sure, I'll buy this. But anyway. All that and more when I eventually go through this full collection, because I do want to show everything off. I just don't want to go through everything like, this is my game. No. Also, here's my... I've shown some of these in the Gen 4 Rare video, but I've got my Pride Maple 7-line tank and my more recent acquisition, the Harry Carey Daisy. I will probably make jokes about that one when I eventually do a video. I also found this random Shrek 3 Gingy at Goodwill, and I'm like, sure, I'll take that. Why not? And so, that brings us back to me standing behind the microphone, so the audio is going to be crap. So let me rotate it. Or more accurately, just move it. That brings us back to the dinosaur trio, because I bought these things off of eBay recently. It was focus. It was $90 for the set. These things are worth about $90 each, and they are in shockingly good condition. Steg is my favorite of the bunch. Got a nice green underbelly going on there. I don't know why I felt the need to point that out. Rex is he's a thing. Not really sure what to say about that one. And Bronte is the usually considered the rarest of the three, and mine's got a little bit of floppy neck going on. The stuffing's kind of migrated into its body, unfortunately, and it is not in perfect mint condition, but this was still a pretty cool thing to get. These are all Gen 3s if you do not know tag generations, so I don't collect Gen 3s because most of them are too expensive, but I couldn't pass up on these because I wanted them since I was about 8, so that was kind of cool that I found them. Anyway, that ends the random webcam portion of the video. Like I said, you have much more of that to look forward to in the future if I actually get a better camera, because God, I don't want to point this terrible webcam at them for hours and just go like, so this one here is Mystic number 4. So yeah, let's do something else. All right, so now we're moving on to the portion of the video that is not going to be incredibly blurry and make your eyes bleed. I couldn't say how interesting it's going to be. This is going to be me just kind of rambling for a while. I swear I will actually be getting to something of almost interest soon. Before this video is over, I do plan on ranting at a clip from Storage Wars, and also complaining about one of those stupid top 10 beanie lists that is just you find by searching on Google, and it's completely false. Because I know people do like hearing me complain about those. So, let me recap a little bit of what's happened over the last couple of years, because in the I've done a lot since the last like proper vlog, I've had like the Dr. Lori videos and like a few random things like that. But when I did the last proper vlog, I had like I said, just kind of started my collection, and I was just kind of getting back into the community, but wasn't really majorly into it yet. And so the first thing that happened was, as I was kind of researching the different types of beanies I needed, one of the first things I did was I made this spreadsheet. And this is for my own personal collection. I basically wrote down every Gen 4 and every like variant of them that I needed, and like when they came out, when they retired, what kind of tags they could have, and everything like that. And then I did the same thing for Gen 5. And so as I'm doing this, I kind of have to figure out like what different variants there are, like when they were available, if they do come with these tags, because on some of them it's kind of unclear. And I had a lot of questions on the Hot Pink Magic and the inch with... Where is that one? Oh, I have this in the wrong place. The inch with felt antennae, because I had a really hard time finding those. And so at that time, I didn't really know about all the different websites that there were on the subject at the time, but I knew of this one. There were a few different ones I knew about. There was About Beanies, which is kind of an old site that's not being updated or anything, but it has some decent info on it. And then I found Tie Collector, which has a big list of everything on it, and I could, if I had questions on something, I could basically look up, like, here's the inch one, and it would have the info. Usually they have photos, some of them don't. And I, for the most part, believed this website. I saw no reason not to. And I know I had one question specifically about this one, because I mentioned this in the last vlog. This was the one that kind of got me to start digging really deep, because whenever you have the dates like this, these dates usually come from official Tie material, and it's just kind of taken at face value that these are supposed to be correct, but this date is absolutely wrong. It's actually 1996, and I found that out just by doing a lot of digging, and there's many of them that are like that. And so like for instance, right here it says that this can have a tush tag of either 1, 2, or 3. I found one on eBay once that was like a Gen 3 hang tag with a Gen 5 tush tag, which is not a possible combination, and there's no way that this should have had a 5 anyway, because once I found out this thing retired in 96, like, the Gen 5 didn't come out until, like, October 97 anyway, so it didn't line up. So I ended up emailing the people who make this website, and they got back to me, and they just kind of gave sort of a generic answer, like there's always quirks that show up, you never know, like they might have just had some extra tags laying around. But that didn't really make sense to me. It helped a little bit, but that was when I eventually came across this website. And I know I've talked about this one a bunch of times in the past, but I want to kind of mention it again. This one is run by 3 experts that have been in the community for forever. Becky is the one who basically was like one of the very first collectors who actually came up with the tag generation system in the first place. They've done like tons of work behind the scenes, and like almost everything that you can find on the internet can be traced back to them. And they're the ones that run the Facebook group that I'm part of. And so that was when I asked about the Hot Pink Magic, because that thing is the stupidest fucking beanie variant I've ever seen in my life. I had to make this image for comparison to, like, I know I've talked about this before, I know I'm being redundant here, but I kind of have to talk about this again just for a reminder, because I know it's been a while. Like, here, how does Tie Collector say, like, how does it separate these? it just has one, and then it says, like, yeah, it's categorized into different categories. So basically, it's accepted that the version with hot pink stitching on the wings is worth more. And so I think this photo I have in the top left were the... Or no, that's my hot pink one. Where was the one that I had? I guess I don't have that picture anymore. I bought one off of eBay that said it was a hot pink, and it looked like it was one, and I got it, and I laid it next to my light pink one, and they looked almost identical. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if this is correct or not. So I took a photo of it, I submitted it to the Facebook group, and they're like, no, that's not a hot pink one. And I eventually did find one. But the difference between these is so minor. Like, this is the light, this is the medium, this is the hot. Like, you can kind of tell between the light and the hot pink, but it is, like, oh my god. It's like, it's so stupid, and it makes such a big difference, because, like, this one's $5, this one's, like, 50. And stuff like this is why people who are new to the hobby latch on to so many of the, like, error rumors. Like, oh, Valentina with a brown nose is a rare variant. And it's like, no, it's not. They're all made that way. But you would never know unless you do the proper research. And so that's how I kind of got into this group. And I basically just kind of posted, like, I helped out people, and ended up kind of just becoming a moderator sort of out of nowhere, because they realized that I knew my stuff pretty well and I was being helpful, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And so then at that point, my goal was, on their website, they have all these different articles that are pretty helpful. Like, this one is sort of it links to, like, all the other different ones. There's a bunch of different stuff here, but, like, this one, for instance, goes over a lot of the rumors about error tags and kind of sets the record straight. But the problem that I came across was they have all these articles, but there's no really easy way to find out, like, what beanies are kind of like a mid-range, excuse me, like, worth more than $5 but not worth a fortune type of stuff. Because they have this one that's like, what's the rarest ever, and it goes over kind of like the top ones, and this is accurate. Like, I have no problem with this, but it's not going to help 99% of people, because nobody's going to have these. Whereas you might have, like, for instance, let me look at my photos here. Like, here, you might have a 21 spot lucky. That one's worth like $20-25, whereas the common one is only worth like $5. And, like, I'd say that's worth looking out for, but it's hard to know what to look for if you don't buy the price guide and kind of just research all that. So it's a lot of work. So I basically was like, what if I write some new articles that kind of break this down, make it a little easier to digest. The problem is I don't know how to stop typing. Whenever I write anything, I go on for fucking months. So what I ended up doing was I wrote these out as notepad files, but then I made them into Reddit posts. And so this is my subreddit, Beanie Collectors. And so I have this introduction post that kind of is just like this is me, this is where I come from. Like, I have backing from the experts and whatever, and then there's a link to my other posts. And then in these, I have these sort of in-depth breakdowns of, like, all the different tag variants and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, if you go here, you find out what tag yours has. It's like, okay, I have a Gen 4, so you go to this page, and then I have the list of the Gen 4s that are worth something. So it's like, here's Tank the Armadillo. Well, there's a few versions of that. I have a picture of them, explains what they are. So I kind of did this to make a good resource for people, but as I said, I never know when to shut up. So I kind of write a little bit too much. And so I was submitting these, and I wanted them to be eventually approved as articles on their website. But that didn't end up happening. And there was this whole big kerfuffle where I kind of got butthurt, and I posted about it on Reddit, and then they saw the Reddit post, and they were upset, and so I lost my mod status for a while. I eventually got back in, though. I am still a mod now. And I'm basically trying to stay in this community because even though a lot of the people in this community are morons, here's my post that I was talking about, actually. Like, even though a lot of the people who post here are idiots, there are still people who are legitimately looking for, like, actual info, and when you help them out, then, like, they learn stuff, and it's cool. I like it. So, I don't really have a ending to that story, really, but there's a lot of drama behind the scenes that I won't be talking about here. Some of it just because it's really complicated, and some of it because I just really shouldn't talk about it. I will mention very vaguely that the reason I made this subreddit is because there is another one just called Beanie Babies that I used to post in, and then it got, like, locked by the person who made it, and you couldn't make new posts anymore for some reason. And so then I made my own, and then there's another person on here who took over this group and asked if I wanted to help run it, but I didn't respond to him because there was like a conflict of interests between me and the admins of the Facebook group and this other guy, and so I'm like, let's just kind of let this one go. And so there was some bullshit that happened with that, but it's very stupid. Like I said, it's surprising how much goes into all this. But while I'm doing all this, I'm building up my collection. As I've shown, I now have basically every Gen 4 and 5. There's a couple very small variants that I still need. I need the, where is it? Do I have a picture of it here? Would help if I remembered my alphabet. I don't know if I do. There's a version of Liberty that says Summer Olympics inside the tag, instead of just Summer, and that one's actually really rare. I need that one, and I need Chocolate the Moose with the chocolate misspelling on the tush tag. And I think there might be a couple other minor things, and anything from Gen 3. Like, I have these dinosaurs now. I don't have Car, Flutter. I don't have these three because these are worth a ton. There's another, yeah, like, you saw my chili, but it was in really bad condition. I need those too, all the different colored teddies. There's a bunch of stuff I don't have, but those are older ones. But, so it's like I'm building up this collection. I have, where's the, do I have that file? Yeah, I have, like, this whole documentation of, like, where I bought every single one, like, what date I got it on, how much it cost, all that stuff. Like, I've been tracking all this stuff, and I wanted to have, like, a good, solid video on it at some point, and it never happened because I was giving myself too much of a, like, lofty goal for what it was going to be like. I wanted to have, and I've talked about this in other videos, I had plans for a very complicated, like, hundreds of hours editing video that I wanted to lead into this. And it would be based off of the Smash Ultimate reveal trailer, where every character pops up, and you get a little nameplate, and it's, like, super dramatic. I was going to have this for everything in the collection. And I, believe it or not, I did put some work into this. So, like, I had plans for how this was going to work out. If we look at my, in my Google Drive, I actually do have the start of a spreadsheet here. I wrote down the start times of every clip in the video and, like, what level it took place on. And I kind of have a lot of this is just kind of in my head. I didn't write it down, but I wrote down a couple of them here, like, where they would fit in. Like, for the Pokemon trainer scene, like, where is it? Yeah, like, right here, like, I would kind of map it out one-to-one. Like, this would be Kix the bear, and we'd have Speedy the turtle. This would be Iggy the iguana with Pumpkin sitting on the top of it. And then this would be Scorch the dragon. And I was going to have stuff like that, like, the entire thing. And I wanted to do that, but my god, is it a lot of work. and I'd have to get a green screen and get like a green like sleeve to put over my arm with a white glove over it to make it look like Master Hand, so that I could like chroma key everything out, but then that wouldn't work for the beanies that are green. And then I'd have to like record footage in Smash to like get clean rips of the background and then sync it all up, and it would take fucking forever. I started making the like splash screens, like the name things that would pop up. Here I have like I still might actually use these for something when I eventually get around to doing another video. That not necessarily like the everyone is here intro, but I want to do a timeline just from the very beginning, November 93 up until the end of 1999, kind of covering everything that came out and like the changes that happened to him and the tag changes. And I figured I'd kind of have like these go along with it, like when something is introduced it can kind of pop up and then like stay on the bottom. I'll have like a running list of everything that's current at the time, and when something retires I can drop off the list. It's still going to be an editing nightmare, but I kind of want to do that. But so that's why you've not seen anything of that nature, because basically I wanted to make something that would be too complicated to make. And I still want to do it, but I know I'm never going to. Like here, I even fucking downloaded all of these individual images so that I could use these in some kind of video, like not the everyone is here montage, but like the kind of thing I just described. And I think I'm still missing a few too, but it's like I went through a lot of work to get these, and I just never did anything with them. But was there more that I was gonna mention about that? I feel like there was more than this. Just the amount of time and effort that I've put into this hobby is kind of insane, because it's something that I know is a very niche thing that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really get that 40 to 60 female demographic to come in and watch these videos. Gotta strike while the iron's hot on that one. But it's like, I mean, look at these photos I have here. Like, who is gonna know this stuff other than me? Like, here's my Iggy and Rainbow collection. Like, there's the fact, like, how do I explain this? There's 6 of them, because this one is Rainbow with Iggy's fabric. This one is just regular Rainbow. This is Iggy with Rainbow's fabric. This is regular Iggy. These in the middle are Iggy with Rainbow's fabric, but also with a tongue. And there's one that's neon and one that's pastel. And the difference between them, other than the colors, is that in the neon one, the stamp runs parallel to the text on the outside. Or that's the wrong picture, but yeah, the neon one, the stamp runs parallel, but the pastel runs perpendicular. Like, that's how you tell the difference. And then I went out and I specifically bought a gobbles with, like, the double felt wattle underneath it, because it was a variant that no one ever had listed anywhere, and I wanted to see, like, what its deal was. Like, I don't know why I do this stuff. And then I have this freaking spreadsheet that I spent, like, months on, like, categorizing everything from introduction date, and I've got this graphic on the side that, like, shows how long it was in production. Like, here's 1904, like, here, Splash, like, January 94 to May 97, and so it goes like that. Like, there's May 97, it ends there, it's, like, split up by colors by tag generation. Like, I did all this because I wanted to. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever going to use this, but I think it's cool. It's interesting to look at least. Like, I made this chart. I made a chart here that I can't even show on screen because it has values from the price guide in it. And that's not, like, public information. You have to pay for that. So I made that for literally no reason. I like this photo of the 12 Gen 3 Korean pinkies. I don't know what the hell happened there. But, and then there's the whole thing with peace. Like, I have, like, this shows 5. I think I have, like, 7 pieces now, and I'm getting more because I wrote an article on peace. Do I have it in here? Yeah, like, I wrote this whole giant stupid thing because Karen, like, one of the Karens from the Facebook group, wanted me to do it, and she is like, I'll send you a box of peace bears if you do. And I'm like, I mean, okay, sure. So I'm going to be getting those at some point. Peace is split up into these freaking 6 different kinds, and it's like, how do you tell which one they are? The colors are random every time. Oh, well, Vivid is a Gen 4, or it's a Gen 5 with no stamp, but it's specifically a Chinese one with no stamp. If it's an Indonesian one, then it might be either a Summer Trans or a Neon or a Pastel. You don't know. Then the Summer is a stamped piece with a capital Thai ink on the back of the tush tag, but the address inside the hang tag is Fairham Hats. And then the Autumn one is also capital... No, it's lowercase Thai ink on the tag, but Fairham Hats is the address. And then Spring is lowercase Thai ink, but the address has now been changed to Gosport, which is sometimes misspelled as Gasport, which changed in April of 1999. And then Neon and Pastel are both very rare variants of the Summer version, so they're specifically stamped with a capital Thai ink and a Fairham Hats address, but they only show up if the stamp number is either 101 or 102, and it's only sometimes, and also they can be Indonesian. Yeah. I'll be going over that again at some... Don't worry. If you missed, and that was from memory. If you missed that one, if that didn't all make sense, don't you worry, I'll go over that again at some point. But so yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing the past couple of years. So I have about 300 beanies now, and I don't know what to do with them. And yeah, let's go rant at some stupid stuff. So I'm just gonna pull this up right now. I'm not gonna even cut the video or anything. If you go to Google and just search Beanie Babies with no other context or anything. In fact, you know what? Let's do this in incognito. I want to make sure it's not using any like previous search history. So, Beanie Babies. Here we have the Thai website. Very first thing on here, mentalfloss.com. Second thing, Cosmopolitan. I've complained about this article. They reprinted this article. I complained about this in 2018, and they did it again the following year, and they added more stuff to it. Here's one that actually is rare. Everything else on here, completely bullshit. But we're not going to talk about that one again. We're going to talk about Mental Floss, because I have some serious beefs with this article and with this author specifically. I am very angry at this article. So, because let's say you know nothing on the subject, you can't just throw out that pile of knowledge that I did about the piece variants off the top of your head, because let's be honest, who other than me could? So you Google like rare Beanie Babies or whatever, you come across this, oh, this must be legit. My God, is it not? So the problem with all these articles is that every single one of these, I have not ever found one of these articles that even attempts any amount of actual research. What they do is they either steal info from other articles, which were also wrong, or they go to eBay and they're like, Beanie, oh my God, Beanie, what's rare? Here, let me search by the highest one. Oh my God, oh, Curly's $1 million. Oh wow, that must be real. It's not real. And so I'm going to go through this. I'm going to tear this article a new one, and then we're going to go bitch at Storage Wars for a while. So let's see. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm doing this one is because I wrote reviews on a few of these. I actually did write one for Mental Floss, but I never finished it. I have these on my subreddit. I was going to do a bunch of them, and then I just kind of got distracted and didn't do anymore. So like I started the Mental Floss, didn't finish it, and then just kind of abandoned this. So this is me finishing that one up. So anyway, this one's like, there's few rare ones like Valentino the Bear that can bring a small fortune. Fuck you, no it can't. No it can't. We'll get to that one when it's on the list. So anyway, Princess, $10,000. Of course. Why would it not be number one? Everybody knows about Princess. It's so rare. Oh my god, I've never seen one before in my life. I only own 4 of them, and I've only seen a dozen of them in thrift stores. So, we're going to link to BB Toy Store here. Now, this is a reputable website that deals in beanies and many other things. Oh god, they have... Beanie Baby Snail. Beanie Baby Snail. Hold on.
Beanie Baby Snail. 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 Beanie Baby...
So before I start ranting about mental flaws, I forgot about this. There's a trend on TikTok, apparently, that is just that. It's an auto-tuned Beanie Baby Snail over and over again with just camera cuts of Swirly. And I don't know why. And there's thousands of them. And so because of this, the value of this one has gone up because everybody needs it for their stupid TikTok video. How much are these selling for now? This is a $5 beanie, for the record. It always has been. And because of this TikTok thing, the price has randomly shot up. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, like, they're selling for way more than they need to. Like, you can still find some cheap ones, I guess, but, like, what the fuck? What is this? Why? Why? But anyway, I'm getting distracted. Ooh, here, there's some Peace Bears. Ooh, and Teddy Oldfast, nice. I'm getting distracted, no. Okay, so... Let's see. How much are we, How much are we selling Prince... Wait, why am I on Instagram? Get the fuck off of Instagram. Hold on. No. Oh, wait. Is this... hold on. Taking forever to do stuff, yeah. What would it be like if house... I don't know why I'm going through all this effort to check this, because I know the answer is going to be like $10, but, Alright, how much are we selling Princess for? So this is an actual reputable site. They'll buy your stuff, and they'll sell it back, and they usually don't overprice things. Usually. Okay, here we go. PE pellets, $7.99, that's reasonable. PE made in Indonesia, I can kind of see that one. PVC China, PVC Indonesia, yeah, these are about right. So here's the thing with Princess, and I've talked about this a million times before. This is the only beanie that PVC pellets matter on, because the pellets changed in November 1998. This beanie was released in December of 97. It was officially revealed to the public on October 29th, 97, but it took a couple months for it to actually be produced, and when it got to stores, it was 12 per store, limited supply. Everybody's freaking out. Oh my god, they're never going to make more. Super rare, buy them up now, hoard them. And that initial batch had the PVC pellets, and then it took a while to make another batch. And then once they did, it was after the shift, so the new ones had PE pellets. So basically the PVC is a first edition. That's why it's viewed as an important selling point on this beanie specifically, but no others. So it has a history to it. It's a common beanie, but it has a thing to look out for, so you gotta always check. It is not worth $10,000. If you have one that's PVC, made in Indonesia, and has a Canadian tush tag, it's pretty rare. Those can sell for about $200 if you're lucky, but usually not even that high. And if it's just PVC China, it's like $25-30. If it's PVC Indonesia, it's a bit more. Yeah, like I said, the prices on here are about accurate. Honestly, I think 90 for a PVC Indonesia is pretty high, but eh. So here's the problem with mental floss, though. I've found this particular article to be particularly bad because it links to things, but it doesn't read them. So here's the thing. Let's read what this says. The Purple Princess Diana Bear. Oh yeah, hold on. Are we calling? Okay, here they actually call it the actual name. I have to mention this. I fucking hate it when people call this thing Diana or Princess Diana. That is not what it's called. It does not have the name Diana anywhere on it. So anyway, quickly raise money for a fund. Ranks among the most expensive. No, it doesn't. That's bullshit. Yeah, as for it's one listed for $600,000. Yeah, listed for. That doesn't mean it's worth that much. People can put up a fricking piece of toast and ask for 12 grand. That doesn't make it right. So anyway, various what made of. So yeah, this part here is correct. As soon as you start bringing in facts like this, it's wrong, because it's like, oh, someone bought it for $10,000. Oh, it links to an eBay auction. Oh, look at that. It didn't happen. To be fair, it's been a while since this article's been posted. I can't prove that it didn't happen, but let's be honest here, it didn't. Like, okay, here's the one that was listed for $600,000. It's still there. No one's ever gonna buy this. Oh my god, Peggy. Sorry, don't let me get started on Peggy. Ghost version doesn't exist. Let's just leave it at that. The ghost version is allegedly the version that has PVC pellets and also has this space on the right side of the tag at the bottom where there's like the 4 lines of text. There's a space between the second and third line. It's impossible to have one that is PVC and has that space because the space happened long after it changed to PE pellets. But you'll find ones like this occasionally because people switch out the tags on them to make them look special. It's a scam. It's stupid. So yeah, no one's ever going to buy this. But what I really love about this one is it has this whole thing saying like, oh, it's worth this much, and they have a link here, and it links to Tie Collector. And I've mentioned Tie Collector before. This site is decent. It has a couple things on it that are a little questionable. And I know the admins on the price guide site and the Facebook group don't really like this site that much because they tend to not cite their sources and just kind of steal info sometimes. But you can do worse than this site. Let's just say that much. And so here it has a list of the values. As you'll notice, here's Indonesia, PVC, Canada. Like, that's as high as you're going to get. If you read through this article, it's really long, so I'm not going to read through it right now. But, like, it kind of goes over the stuff that I've been saying. Where's the part that I want to talk about? Okay, here's the thing with the different tags. Where is it? Okay, so here we go. This goes over the concept of listing a common item for a high price to fool people into thinking that it's worth that. Like, anybody can do this, and people fall for it because people are morons, basically. And so, like, every once in a while you can find some people who actually do fall for it and spend a lot more money than they should. But let's be honest, if 100 of these things sell, and 99 of them sell for like $10, and the last one sells for like 200, that doesn't mean that it's an average of those or that the 200 is the correct one. Like, you have to ignore outliers like that because things like that can happen. And so when you say, like, oh, one sold for $10,000, no, it didn't. But even if it did, you have to ignore that. That's not, just no. And so, like, this page specifically says at one point, I don't remember where it is, I'm probably looking right at it, but I'm not really reading it, that, like, it gives the prices. It says that if you fall for that, then, like, you're falling for a scam, that it's never worth that much. It goes into very good detail on that, and yet they link to this article and ignore it. Like, how do you use a source and not read it? What the fuck? So yeah, I've ranted on this one for a long time, but I hate this article because it keeps doing that. So here's the next one. McDonald's International Bears. Oh my god, these fucking teeny beanies. So let's look these up. Do we have a full set of 4? Here we go. $15. That is generous. These things are worth $3 each. And for some reason, there's this myth that if you open up the flap in the back of the box and the tag says 1993 and Oak Brook with no space, that it's a rare error tag and there's only 200 of them ever made, or some stupid shit like that. Even though literally every single one of them ever made is like this. There's never any that have a different year or have a space between Oak and Brook. Those do not exist. And yet people say that they do, and that this is the rare one. And yeah, let's open up the fucking package. And like, the thing is only worth like $3 mint anyway. But if you have to open it up, like, do you not realize you're damaging it? I don't get it. How does this shit happen? And so every one of these stupid articles always mentions these things. And sometimes they'll mention the error, sometimes they won't. Some of them are just like, oh, there were only 400 maples ever made. Like, no, they weren't. These things sold for $4.95 each, I think was the amount, in late 1999. And, like, they were McDonald's toys. They made billions of these. They're not hard to find. And I love this part, too, because they say, like, check out our list of the most valuable Happy Meal toys. Okay, let's do that. Let's look at your other list. 15 Happy Meal toys worth big bucks. I bet the International Bears are going to be number 1 on here. Oh, hey, they're not. What do you know? Number 1 on the list is only $140. I don't know if this is accurate. I haven't looked these up. But if it is, what happened to this? Why is this not number 1? You said it was 10,000. So let's find where they are. Let's keep going. Oh, would you look at that? Your own list on your own fucking website that you're citing as a source gives conflicting information. These aren't worth 100 either, but at least it's not saying they're worth 10,000. God damn. Okay, so Peace. I've talked about Peace already. This one is complicated. It's not going to get any of the facts right. Peace does sell for really high amounts sometimes, and it's just because of the coloration on them. Like I said, it's kind of up to personal preference, but like I have this picture here of neon pieces. Neon is one of the rarest color combinations that you can get, and like these are exemplary. Like, usually, like, these bright yellow ones, these things, like, practically glow in the dark. Like, these are really hard to find. This one is... I would call this one, like, above average. But it's not amazing. This one's probably worth, like, maybe $10, if even that. It looks like a Gen 4 tag. I think that's Times New Roman. So, yeah, like, let's see what they're saying about this one. It was the first beanie with an embroidered emblem. Oh, really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure that Peace, which was introduced May 11th, 1997, was the first beanie with an embroidered emblem on it? Can we prove that? Are we sure it wasn't Valentino, which was made quite a while before that? Not that we can see because there's no picture here, but whatever. So yeah, they don't sell up to $5,000. There was apparently one that sold for about $1,000, but that is extremely rare. Usually, the majority of them are going to go for like the $5 to $10 range. Sometimes you'll see them go up to like, I don't know. I'm not even going to give an estimate because honestly, anything I'll say will be taken out of context. But people will go insane over Peace. So whatever, we'll ignore that one. Oh boy, snort the bull. Here's the one I don't get. So. In 1997, Thai quietly replaced their Red Bull named Tabasco. Quietly in the sense that they made a public retirement announcement on the website, and Tabasco was one of the ones retired, and Snort was one of the ones introduced. Yeah, real quiet. So yeah, they did that to avoid copyright infringement, blah, blah, blah. So, tell me this. If Tabasco was the original, why is Snort the one that we're saying is rare? Does that make any sense? Because, like, if they changed it and then, like, got rid of Snort, like, immediately after, then maybe. But they didn't. Like, that's not what happened. Here, let me pull up my timeline here. So here's Tabasco. Here's Tabasco. Yeah, came out June 95, retired January 97. It was replaced by Snort. Here's Snort. This one came out Jan 97, ran until September 98. It was out for quite a while. You know when beanies were the most popular? April 97 to the end of 99. Well, would you look at that? It was out for like 2/3 of that time. Oh my god. It's almost like it was really common. So, let's see. What do these lead to? Yeah, a couple tie collector things. And this, I've read this one before. This is just a list of like ones that changed because of like copyright names, like whatever. Claude the Crab I've bitched about a million times. Also, there's some Hadoos. I approve of this. I don't understand Claude. There is nothing about this one that makes sense. So, oh, please say this one exists. Please say it exists. Yes, okay. Ooh, I'm glad, because I can make fun of this one. This one's really fucking bad. So, before I talk about that one specifically, at least the article is not saying that it's rare because the name of the beanie is in the poem, which is what I usually see. Is that in the Cosmo article? Hold on. Where's Claude? Yeah, the only Beanie Baby with a poem in its name, Claude the Cramp. It's the only one. There's no other Beanie Baby that does that. Can you believe that? That's such an interesting fact. Here, let me look up some other ones. Here's the first 3 beanies I ever got. Lizzie the Lizard. Hey, look at that. Its name is in its poem. How about Sly the Fox? Oh, would you look at that? Oh my god. It's almost like a lot of them do that. And some random person just pointed that out, said that it was a thing, and then tried to pass that off as a selling point, which doesn't even make sense. Because even if that was real, why would that matter? But, okay. Anyway, ignoring that, this was a beanie that came out same time as Peace, May 97. It lasted until the end of 98. It was very, very common. It was worth, like... So when it first came out, it was at the height of the craze, and everyone was buying everything up, and they weren't sure like how long they'd be on the market. So like when it first came out, it could probably sell for a decent bit, and then it took a nosedive, and it stayed at like $5 to $10 forever, and it's still worth that. But then at some point in 2014, some chuckle fuck decided to say that it was rare, and everybody believed it for some reason, including Company Man on YouTube. Here, let me find that. Can I complain about that specifically?
Beanie Baby, you could probably afford it. Now, Claude the Crab is one of the more valuable ones, so maybe not him, but...
No, it's not! Fuck you! Oh my god, why do people think this one's rare? Okay, so anyway. So yeah, this particular one it links to. This is linking to an eBay auction. So it says, numerous flogs, including a tag with a missing star. First of all, there's a star. And this is a teeny beanie. This is the McDonald's version that came out in 1999. Happy Meal toy, very common. It's worth like $1. So, what are we saying is wrong with this one? Because I remember it being really stupid. Does this not have a description? Extremely rare Waterlooville, 1996 Claude the Crab tie teeny beanie baby. Okay, so let's investigate here. First of all, these are different images. This is the teeny beanie, and then this is a different one. So the two totally different items. This is a Gen 5. It doesn't have Waterlooville as an address. And I don't know what you mean about it missing a star either, because it has a star, and you can't really see the tush tag on here, but this is a Gen 5. I can guarantee you there's a star on the tush tag also. This one doesn't have it because it's not supposed to. It was never made with one. Also, it wasn't made in 1996. So what are, like, okay, the birthday says 96, but that isn't accurate. Just, what the fuck is this auction? Why does it have different pictures? Why is it lying about what it is? Like, I don't even know. Whatever. Moving on. Valentino, worth this apparently specific amount. This one doesn't even have a fucking hang tag. One of the most valuable? No, it's not. Rare version with an error. Okay. Every error. Every one of them. So, brown nose instead of black. Even... Okay, I want to show this off because this is hilarious. I've already complained about this before. So, let's look at this. Valentino, and then in quotes, brown nose. Over 1,000 results. Look at that. Retired. Rare brown nose. With a brown nose. Rare brown nose. Tag errors and brown nose. Brown nose. Oh my god. This must be special because everybody says it has that. How about the black nose version one? How many of those can we find? There's got to be millions of those, right? Oh wait, there's none because it doesn't fucking exist. What are you talking about? It's supposed to be brown. There is never a version released with anything other than brown. So, here's sorted by highest. It has all the errors. You would not believe how many errors this has. Except there's probably none. Let me guess. The birthday says 1994, but the tush tag says 1993. Oh my god, somebody alert the authorities. Oh my god, that's... PVC pellets, that's an error. Oh no. How dare it not be perfect? TM and Circle R on tush tag. What, you mean like all of them? Here, let me find my tush tag chart. Where is that thing? I'm getting angry. Like, I've read through this article before, and I've seen all this stuff a million times, but like, these are the different tush tag generations. They all have a TM and an R somewhere on them. Sometimes more than one. Sometimes they move around a bit. That's normal. They're supposed to be like that. Why are we calling this an error? This is nitpicking. That's referring to the addresses in here. Sometimes it'll say UK after the PO155TX. Sometimes it won't. They changed that at some point. It doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. Next one. No comment after Oakbrook. Is it supposed to? Is it really supposed to? Are we English teachers? Do we really care? No mass production stamp. Okay, hold on. This is two different things. No mass production stamp. The stamp that they're talking about is the thing I was mentioning earlier. The, where is it? I know I have a picture of it somewhere. Damn it, where did I put it? Yeah, the stamp, like this thing. That that started showing up in, June 1998. And Valentino was available between January 95 and December 98. So the vast majority of these are not going to have it. And yours has a Gen 4 hang tag and a Gen 4 tush tag. So this one is specifically made between July 97 and October 97. So yeah, it's not going to have that. Alright, style number in tush tag. That's not a thing that exists. So, okay, whatever. Extra space between handmade and in. I'm looking at it right now. I'm not seeing what you're talking about. Okay, maybe a little bit. Is that an error? Are we really calling that an error? Why do people do this? Alright, CE and red star on the tush tag. Oh, we're calling that an... Okay, hold on. This is a new one. This is a new one for me. Because, remember, I just showed this. You see how the difference between the Gen 3 and the Gen 4 is it added a star to the left of the heart? Like, that was an intentional design change. Usually, I see people claim that if it has no star, then that's the error, or that, like, it's super rare and old, which is not true. I've never seen them saying that it's an error if it has the star. That's a new one. The CE, that just means that it's, like, approved by, like, the European custom laws or whatever. I forget what that means exactly. That's supposed to be there. Name and style on same line. There's not a single tag where they're on different lines. I don't need to find examples because there's no such thing as them being on different lines. Numerical date of birth! Oh my god, all caps important. Oh my god, that's a Gen 4 hang tag. Who could have ever guessed? Like, it's almost like they're all that way. I'm saying that for every single thing. But look, they printed the tags different ways. This is a Gen 4. It has a style number. The Gen 5 doesn't. Gen 4 has date of birth numbers. Gen 5 spells it out. This one says visit our webpage, HTTP. This one doesn't. That was for everything that changed tags. Not an error. So yeah, I pointed that one out, You listed this one fucking twice. And extra space between birth and colon inside of... Oh, is there another extra space that I missed? Between the words date of birth and the colon. Okay, I'm sorry, because what they're saying is it should say this, but they put in a space. Oh my god. That thing's got to be worth millions. I can't believe it. Buy it now. Yes! Okay, no. So yeah, this is completely full of shit. The error stuff drives me insane because I don't understand it. It makes no sense. Actually, I do understand it though. That's the sad thing. What people are doing is they'll find a beanie. It doesn't matter what it is. Here, let me do an example right now. Let me just search for one that I've never seen any rumors on. So let's do Stilts. I can't talk. Or I can't type. Let's do Stilts the Stork. Oh god, it says errors. Fuck off. Okay. Do you have a picture of the tag here? Here we go. It's very blurry, but this'll... Let me find something else. I gotta find one with a good tag, because I need to just make up some shit. Here we go. Okay. Here's errors. Let's see. I'm trying. The text handmade in China at the bottom isn't exactly centered. There's an R after Beanie Baby's collection, and it should be a TM. There's a TM after Stilts, but it should be an R. The date of birth says 1998, but storks didn't exist then. Why is there a space after the word boy before the exclamation point? Like, I'm doing a bad job here, but like... Oh, why is there a hologram on this tag? I don't understand. It's so confusing. Why is it 11 inches tall? No, I don't know. But no, what people do is they'll find every single tiny thing that they can point out, and they'll list all of them, hoping that one of them is somehow important. And the problem with this is that when they do that, other people see these, and they assume that they know what they're talking about, so then they do it, and then everybody does it. And it's completely idiotic because none of it means anything. Anyway, let's try and wrap this up. Jesus Christ. So Peanut is an actual rare one. This is... I'm surprised they're only saying it's worth 2,500 because that's not that badly inflated. I think it's worth less than that now. I think it's only like 1,000. But, okay. Iggy the Iguana. We've talked about this one already. This one actually links to Beanie Baby's price guide. So how about this one? I like this. So it went through many design iterations. It points out a bunch of stuff. All of this is correct. All of this is correct except for this. If you look at this, if you look at the page, it goes over all of this, and then at the bottom of the page, it says, how much are they worth? $3 to $7. 1 to 3. So they copied, they looked at this, they read all the info, and they're like, yeah, okay, $5,000. That's sure. Gobbles the Turkey, common $5 beanie. Nothing special about it at all. And I like this one. There's multiple versions of this. It came with either a double or a single layer bottle. First of all, I'd like to point out, so I've talked about this one before, actually. So waddle isn't actually spelled that way. I know this is a minor thing, but like the thing, okay, hold on. The thing on like the turkey's neck is a waddle with T's, not D's. It's a different thing, but we can blame Ty for that one. So yeah, it can be made with either single or double felt. That's never listed as a variant on any official sites that I've seen, but it is a thing that exists because I own one. Oh wait, wrong page. But here's the thing: if you look at the what am I looking? Gobbles. If you look up the Beanie Buddy version of it, which is not the same thing, this is bigger, made of a different material, released at a different time. The tag on this one actually points this out and spells waddle wrong. So that's where that info came from. And there's two versions of this one, which is like where the tail can be attached to it. This is not the Beanie Baby, this is the Buddy. And so it gets that wrong because it says that they're attached at various heights, and no, we're not. And why are we linking to Sears? Why is Sears selling a Beanie Buddy that was discontinued in 1999? What the fuck? Anyway. So yeah, no it didn't. And lastly, Patty the Platypus. So this stuff is correct, but I mean, who cares? That doesn't mean anything. If we look back at my chart again, there's 4 versions of Patty, and the common one was out for a really long time, up until May 98, so it's really common. Like, just... Patty's weird. There's, like I said, there's 4 versions of it, and versions 1 and 4 are almost identical to the naked eye, and versions 2 and 3 are also almost identical. It mostly comes down to the tags. Like, this is a Gen 1 tag, this is a Gen 4. The value is based on that, and I'm simplifying this because I don't want to ramble about this for forever. Like, this one is actually one of the rarest beanies ever made because it predates the original 9. This is actually the original 2. Before they became publicly available for like stores to sell. So there's very few of these in existence. And then these were Gen 2 and 3 basically. Well, this was 1 and 2, this was 3, and then this was 3, 4, and 5. So it's like, the color actually doesn't matter as much as the tags. That's the, like, people, I've seen articles make fun of that, like there's all these different names for the same color. How do you know which one you have? It's like, yeah, it's hard to understand, but then the colors aren't called that arbitrarily. They actually got someone in with, like, you know how they have like those paint, like, swatches or whatever you call them. Like when you're doing decorating, like they have the paint colors squares that you can look at to like preview what it would look like. They actually use those to get these color names, and even though the colors are really similar on some of these, it just comes down to the tags, really. That's pretty much it. So, anyway, that rant went on for longer than I expected, but I had a lot to say about it. And, now let's go to Netflix real quick, because we're going to be looking at a episode...
Dan Schneider, and I'm a pharmacist.
Wait, Dan Schneider,
I can
what?
almost remember every piece of my
No,
life.
go away.
I have hundreds
What was
of
it called?
hours
Storage
of my-
Wars... Northern something? What was it? Northern Treasures, Season 2, Episode 22. Here we go. Okay. This made me fucking, like, almost breathe fire when I saw this because it pissed me off so much. So let's just watch this.
There's gotta be another 100 of these, Bogey. Oh my, it's like the mother load. And there's another 200 of them here. Stop monkeying around.
Search for raccoon. A
What the
raccoon.
frog are you talking about?
We have 600 Beanie Babies.
Why do you have 3
We gotta
parts?
get them all checked out.
Oh, Bogey!
What?
You're not gonna believe it. The Beanie Bonanza continues.
Oh my god, he had Snort! That one's worth $63,000!
This is a good locker.
Okay, but I have things to do. What if Yana calls again?
Okay, so anyway. This part, whatever. It's 2 chuckle fucks going through a stuffed bag of beanies and like, oh, this could be worth money. Oh. And it's like, whatever. I don't take fault with this. It's a little stupid, but I don't really care. So here's the part where they go to find their expert. That's a good face right there. And here is where I get pissed.
Look at this. This one looks exactly like it's $9,500.
Because as we all know, the internet is never wrong.
You're telling me that's gonna be $9,500?
No.
We got 3 of them.
Yeah, it's almost like they're not rare.
We're gonna see David. He's our Beanie Baby expert.
Okay, so I don't know who the hell this David guy is. I looked through the credits in this episode. I couldn't tell who this guy was. There's actually that preview that I'm showing right there. It says David Donahue, but that says story editor. So unless they just got their story editor to pose as an expert, like I couldn't find anybody else in there with David. So I don't know who this guy is. But they're saying this guy's an expert. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt for a minute and see if he knows what he's talking about.
Pato Gerard, the collector's.
Okay, gotta pause real quick here. So, first of all, this guy's fucking face. But, alright, so, we're in some kind of, like, rumpus room, or just, like, collector's showcase. We've got Toronto Maple Leafs, like, they've got a jersey and everything, and we have Beanie stuff. Now, this is a poster of the cover of the January 1996 Thai like product catalog. I have a scan of it in here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. I actually have always really wanted this poster because they had this thing outside of the coffee shop that I bought beanies from back in 1997. And I thought it was cool, and I've really wanted one, and I don't know where they got it, but whatever. So it's an unusual item to have. Let's just say that much. Then we've got a Waves, Bongo, Pugsley, Hissy, and the Buddy version of Fuzz. Nothing too special, but they've got some beanies over there, so whatever.
Emporium.
And we've got a bunch more beanies back here. And if we pay attention here, this is a Special Olympics maple, and he's currently blocking it, but,
Fancy word for basement? Look what we got.
hold on. Okay, it'll show it again. But, can I go back 10? Whatever. But yeah, he's got a Special Olympics maple and also the Special Olympics Valentino. So yeah, those were, like, the 2 beanies themselves, like, we've talked about Valentino for ages already. Like, these aren't really anything too special. Maple can be if it has a tag that says Pride on it, but that's beside the point. The Special Olympics ones, I think there were about 10,000 made of each. They were only given out during this particular event. They're kind of neat. So, like, they have these, they have them framed with some kind of, like, plaque saying what they are. So, this would lead me to believe that either this guy or somebody else in this location really knows their subject. And we're about to see why that's not true.
Is emporium a fancy word for basement?
Look what we got. What?
Wow, look at all these Gen 5s.
Worth money. So you pick out the best ones and tell us what we got.
There is some uniqueness about certain Beanie Baby.
Wait, David Garrard? Hold on. Where was the name in the credits? Was that the one I saw before? Okay, who is this guy? Who the hell is this guy? Is that how it's spelled? Only one R. I need to find out who the fuck this guy is. That's not the same guy. Good. Anyway, I'm not going to read through all this right now. I might read it later. But let's, whatever, let's just let this go.
So what you need to look for are the ones that are rare.
This is the one that my dad says is worth 9,500 bucks.
I saw it online.
Valentino is a special bear, for sure.
No, it's
Was
not.
I right or was I right?
However, the only reason Valentino is worth that kind of money is if the tag was a pink tag.
That's called fucking sun fading!
This is a regular Valentino and is not worth that much money.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That pisses me off so much. You see that so often on eBay. Hold on. This isn't going to get the results I want. Is this... Yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's like... If you have a tag that's pink instead of red, and the star is white instead of yellow, that means it was sitting in the sun. That's what happens. There's... Like... You see? It's faded. How is that? That should be obvious. So, like, there's you can apparently sometimes find them with a white star, and it can be, like, proven to not be faded if, like, you have an expert look at it, like, if you send it in. Those are very rare, and they don't sell for that much if you do find one. But, like, whatever. This thing is... He's full of shit.
This particular beanie was very rare.
Oh, yeah. Gen 4 Peanut, the rarest of all beanies.
This peanut, they had a production run.
Also, I love how these guys are, like... They're... You know the SpongeBob caveman meme? Where they're, like, prepared? Like, what is that thing called? Like, the... Like, yeah, they're, like... They're standing there, like, oh my god, oh my god. Oh. Like, they're doing that.
They did
Like,
it in royal blue.
How much is that worth?
$400,000.
absolutely not.
A piece of Beanie Baby?
But yours is baby blue, sorry.
I'm gonna lead you on and then tell you that it's not worth anything, because I'm an asshole.
I don't think that's very funny. There's gotta be some good ones here.
Ooh, I've never seen a princess before. Oh my god.
What does it mean?
The Lady Di Bear is very...
Fuck off with the Lady Di Bear. It doesn't say... I'm so annoyed. Like... Why do people call it that? It says princess. That's its name. It's not called anything else.
Very special. And the tag is still intact. If you can find a Lady Di Bear where there's a misprint on the tag,
Yeah.
you could have a value of somewhere upwards of $150,000.
But what are these? What are these?
Their fucking reactions every time. He's just like, if you have this particular thing, it could be worth like over several thousand. He's like, oh my god, but he's full of shit. There's no misprint. We've talked about this one. It's PVC pellets in Indonesia. That's what you want, and it's worth 200 max.
I got one. I got another one. $500,000's okay.
No, it's a regular tag.
Also, this thing's creased as shit. And because it has the space in it, we know this is a PE pellet beanie, so yeah, it's not worth anything.
This is like the normal one.
Is that the same one?
Sorry, boys.
I'm starting to pick up on a pattern here.
Yeah, the pattern is this guy's a fucking
Look
asshole.
what I found.
What?
Look what I found. There's another one down there, and another one there. If this thing was really worth as much as I'm saying it's going to be, it's almost like I would have noticed that from the beginning.
Platty.
Platty. Platty. Who the fuck is this guy? Whatever, you know what it looks like. It's called Patty. Who is this fucking guy? He's in a basement full of Beanie memorabilia and knows nothing about them. So my only guess is that they found some random actor to pretend to be the expert, but they also had access to this location to shoot in, and they just, like, they wanted to hype things up. So they, like, maybe they interviewed an actual expert first, and they dumped their stuff out, and they're just like, oh yeah, all these are worth like $3. And they're like, well, that won't make good TV. Let's get in this douchebag. And so then they refilmed it. Like, that's gotta be what happened.
What's that?
It's a platypus. You don't know what a platypus is.
I know it's adorable.
The most
The fucking thing through its beak. The most sought after Beanie Baby.
sought after Beanie Baby
Really?
in the mid-'80s.
Mid-'80s. You know, that's pretty impressive considering that beanies did not exist until November 1993. Man, those time travelers really knew which ones to look out for.
Was the platypus. You probably got $800 worth of platypuses there. Let's see what else we can find.
Oh.
This was the first issued Beanie Baby that they ever did.
First one they ever did. First one they ever did in 1996. There were no more made before it. Absolutely not. Original 9? What's that? I've never heard of those before. It's all about twigs, apparently. Like, you're making shit up. There's no other way to explain it.
Well, Twigs. Twigs is more valuable than anything that you've got in your entire collection. I think Twigs is probably worth $1,000 today.
What, are you training for the opera? What are you doing, man? What is this? I don't even know where to begin. There's so many different beanies that you can point at and be like, oh, there's rare versions that sell for more than usual. There's tiny, stupid things to look out for. There's early tags that are worth more. Twigs ain't one of them. If it's a Gen 3, it's worth about $30. If it's a 4 or 5, it's worth $3. It's never been anything else. I mean, yeah, the Gen 3s were worth more back in the 90s, to be fair. Not 1,000, but more than 30. But why this one? Why are we looking at it this whole...
Be careful with my twig.
Why are we looking at it this whole group and being like, oh yeah, that one there. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, here's Legs the Frog. That's an original 9. Fuck that one. Oh, Twigs. Like...
1992, this collection
To be fair, Legs isn't worth anything either, but I just wanted to specify.
may have been worth $35,000.
I sense a butt coming on.
Sorry to report that the Beanie Baby business has not appreciated, it's depreciated.
What are they worth today?
You could probably get $2,500.
So here's the thing. If we're gonna be generous, like, when you're selling things in bulk, you're paying less for each item. But if you're selling an individual beanie, like, the average price of a common one is like $5 or less. So let's just say we're being generous and saying $5 for each, no bulk discount. Like, were there 500 in that pile? Not that pile they brought in, but they had a whole bunch of bags of them. So really, that's what he's saying, is they're $5 each. Like... I mean, it's not, because you're not going to sell them all for $5 each, but that's basically what they're saying. So, anyway, I'm done screaming. This video's gone on long enough. I did not plan on this being this long. Oh my god, if anybody still has, like, any respect for me at all after this, I'll be shocked. Because, my god, do I know a lot about a stupid children's toy from the 90s. But, what can I say? It's a subject I'm passionate about, and people are complete idiots. That's really all that's what it comes down to.